Look, they said that I couldn't do it, so I went and did it. W's only, you know I've been winning. Top of the world, the globe is spinning. If you know, you know I've been on a what? Mission. Go. Okay, let's get
Hey there, it's me, Dawn of Dawn of a New Day 365 Life Blogging Creations, and the author of the 5-Day Morning Coffee Devotional, as well as a children's book. Come on, y'all know it. Hey, Dandelion. Listen, I'm so excited. Well, first of all, let me say this. I'm a little slow coming out the gate into 2023 because I just had some stuff going on, but I'm here now. And I wanted to introduce to you an extension of my children's book, Hey, Dandelion. And this one is simply entitled, Hey Dandelion, mind your manners. This is lessons and accountability activities that lead to better habits. So for those of you who don't know, there are times where I would go into schools or into churches and teach etiquette to young people. And so this summer I was invited to go and do that and had something else to come up. And I had a friend with me who said, you know what, Dawn, it would be such an interesting thought if Dandelion could help people learn to mind their manners. All she had to say it was one time. And so here we have it now. But I wanted to do this because we know just in the society that we live in that we have just got so inundated with technology. I mean, it's a good thing. But between cell phones and computers and tablets and video games, we have so much that entertains us. But sometimes it takes us away from that natural human interaction, particularly for our children. And so I wanted to get back to the basics of courtesy, so that we would have a tool to be able to use with our children to talk about those things when it comes to human interaction and engagement. Because I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes we see situations where we're just like, has this child been taught their manners? But sometimes they just haven't. So Hey Dandelion to the rescue, right? So this book is with the same character of Anna or Dandelion from the original story, but she is actually going through 5 scenarios, which is actually 5 short stories of learning to mind her manners. I'm so excited about it. Still colorfully illustrated. We introduced some new characters for the storyline. We have some new characters that we are introducing in that. But here on the back cover just kind of explains quite simply, we're only better together when we learn to mind our manners. Written for children, but both teens and adults could learn a thing or two from Dandelion's lessons. Follow the 5 stories that address hygiene, courtesy, table manners, respect, and patience. Hey Dandelion, Mind Your Manners also includes extra tips on common etiquette practices for formal introductions as well as eating. Once children have learned their manners, let them use incentivized practice charts to help them better develop and keep their good habits. And so after the short stories, again, don't y'all just love, you can tell she got an attitude right here. But at the end of Hey Dandelion, Mind Your Manners is much like it was with the original book. There is vocabulary, but you notice there's quite a bit extra on this time. There are 20 vocabulary words, one of them being amicable, coexist, impolite, profusely, rebutted. Come on. I tell people that Hey Dandelion is a children's book because of its illustrations and not because its messages are elementary. But I try to have vocabulary that expands our children's knowledge and scope because I want parents to understand that if you introduce your children to it, they can receive it. Don't try to keep it, down on the lowest level just because your children are young. But you want to introduce them to words early on so that you can expand their vocabulary, because what happens, we will try to keep everything down here on what we assume the grade level or the age level is, and then they will have interactions with people who are speaking up here and then they can't communicate or they can't comprehend or understand. Introduce them to it and they will come. Okay, so that is that portion. And then it also, again, has check on learning to make sure that they are understanding what has been presented to them. And what I have heard from those who were advanced readers, I had both parents, teachers, and children and students to read it in advance and give me their feedback, and I have just gotten just the conversations that took place after the story or during the story, of different situations and scenarios that happened, or trying to figure out why would she do that, so it really created additional dialogue. So I cannot wait for you and your young person to have an opportunity to dig into this. So after the story, the vocabulary, the check on learning, we got to practice. So here Dandelion is saying, oh boy, there's so much to remember. Will you help me practice? Of course. So in the practicing, there are 6 basic rules of etiquette that we should consider here. And so I'll just share a few. When someone helps you or does something for you, or something is given to you, say what? Thank you. Do not interrupt others unless it's an emergency. And then if you need someone's attention, say, excuse me, then wait patiently. Okay. Then here are some other just additional practices. One in particular, kind of going into that line of what I was talking about with patience, is when you are entering a room that's not your room, you knock first and then wait to be acknowledged and invited in. So then here are the incentivized charts that we have for etiquette, where parents and their child can decide what they are going to practice and what type of incentives they're going to have towards that. And then I give some suggestions of what those incentives might be. And so, saying please, saying thank you, practicing regular hygiene, being polite, being considerate. These are things that they will be caught doing. That is a positive things. And then once they get their points, whatever has been agreed upon, then they will get that at the end of the week. Some of the suggestions could be extra TV time, additional play time, a special snack or treat or meal, and then a bedtime extension. So that's it. I'm excited about it. Hey Dandelion, Mind Your Manners will be available for pre-order tomorrow, or the official launch will take place on January the 24th, which is actual national Compliment Day. I almost forgot. National Compliment Day. Why? Because we are practicing being polite. So you can get Hey Dandelion, Mind Your Manners by itself. You can add it to your collection, of course. And if you don't have the original story of Hey Dandelion, you need to get it. All right. Take care and mind your manners.